Trump was wearing today caught everyone's eye. Ivanka Trump seemed untroubled by the current scandal plaguing the White House as she left home to head there this morning. The 35-year-old flashes a big, toothy smile for photographers waiting outside her front door as she left for work, dressed in a pleated blue skirt and fitted black top. Even 5-year-old Arabella Kushner popped her head out, running after her mom in her own girly dress to say good. What Trump did in Oval Office with Pastor Howard, Browne will melt your heart. This Monday, a pastor proposed a prayer circle that President Trump warmly welcomed that suggestion. On the photograph, you can see people placing their hands on Trump's back and praying for him. This is such an emotional moment. Evangelical pastor Rodney Howard Browne and his wife Ivanka led the prayer circle, and he posted the photograph on Facebook. In 1987, Pastor Howard Browne moved to America from South Africa after getting what he claimed to be a calling from God. He called Monday's event surreal and humbling and added that there is going to be another great spiritual awakening after these prayers. The preaching of Howard Browne's concept known as Holy Laughter, describing as an overbearing joy caused by the Holy Spirit, inspired the Toronto blessing, which many believe to be an occurrence of mass blessing which happened back in 1994. President Trump proudly put his Christian faith first in his presidential campaign, which resulted in higher approval ratings of the communities. Many believe that Trump's demonstrating himself as the defender of Christianity helped him beat his rival Ted Cruz and become the Republican nominee to enter the race for the Oval Office. Please share this post on Facebook if you are proud of President Trump. What is your opinion on this? Scroll down to comment below. Maine Democratic representative makes death threat against President Trump. A Democratic state lawmaker in Maine appears to have made a death threat against President Trump. Trump is a half-term president, at most, especially if I ever get within 10 feet of that pussy, Representative Scott Homan wrote in a lengthy Facebook tirade on Tuesday. Homan, who represents a district in South Portland and also works as project manager for a food bank, appears to have been responding to another Facebook user who expressed support for Trump. Homan accused Trump of being anti-American, and an admitted rapist who was installed by the Russians. Homan, who is in his third term in the state house and serves on the Health and Human Services Committee and a marijuana legalization committee, went on to berate Trump supporters, who he said received their news only from outlets like Breitbart News. Don't like the truth? He asked. Well then fuck you, snowflake. You're a fucking pussy. And you people are destroying America. He continued, 100% of intelligent Americans agree that Trump is a complete loser. But go back to clinging to your guns because you're afraid. Pussy. The chair of the Maine Republican Party responded to the post by calling on Maine's House Speaker to do something about Hammond's remarks. Words cannot even begin to describe the level of revulsion I feel after reading Representative Scott Homan's recent tirade that has come to light, D'Amico Zaunas said in a statement. Perhaps the most alarming aspect of this tirade is an implied death threat against our president when Rep. Homan states, as long as that's what's coming out of that side, then I'll match you dumb FKS word for word. Trump is a half-term president, at most. Especially if I ever get within 10 feet of that piece she said. She called on Maine House Speaker Sarah Gideon to do something about Hammond's remarks, which she called unhinged and dangerous. Hammond did not respond to phone and email requests for comment. A phone call placed to the food bank where he works, Good Shepherd Food Bank, was not answered. But the group commented on the matter on Facebook. The views and opinions expressed by this employee are his own, and in no way reflect the views of Good Shepherd Food Bank. Our only goal is helping to end hunger in Maine, and we have addressed this with the employee, reads a post on the organization's Facebook. CNN reporter tweets pic of Russian attorney behind Obama ambassador days after Trump Jr. meeting, freak out ensues. As the fallout continues over Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with a Russian attorney, people are beginning to wonder exactly what connections Natalia Veselnitskaya had with Democratic operatives. The Kremlin denies knowing Veselnitskaya, and she herself said she had no intention of speaking to Trump Jr. about any incriminating evidence against Hillary Clinton, though it seems pretty clear he was duped into thinking so. So who is Natalia Veselnitskaya? A well-connected Russian lawyer. And by well-connected, we don't mean in Republican circles. Just 8 days after her meeting with Trump Jr. in Trump Tower, Veselnitskaya mysteriously appeared sitting right behind then President Obama's ambassador to Russia Michael McFaul during a Foreign Affairs Committee hearing. Here's another shot, with Natalia Veselnitskaya circled by the Gateway pundit. The meeting was June 14 and was about Russian involvement in Ukraine. Also, sitting next to Veselnitskaya is Ivanka Galarov, another man mentioned in Trump Jr.'s emails. He's the man who set up the meeting between the two. Keep in mind as well, that both of these individuals are connected with Fusion GPS, a Democratic opposition research firm believed to be behind the leaking of the fake dossier against President Trump. So why are Veselnitskaya and Ivanka Galarov hanging out with Barack Obama's top Russian officials? Were they working with the administration to set a trap for the Trump campaign? Just in a lawsuit has been filed against Chelsea Clinton. Look what she has done. A new lawsuit claims that Chelsea Clinton has known that parts of her children's book were plagiarized from another work. Nevertheless, she decided to publish it. New York Post reported that Albany, New York-based author Christopher Janes Kimberly claims that parts of She Persisted were stolen from a pitch for his proposed book, A Heart is the Part That Makes Boys and Girls Smart. The lawsuit was filed last Thursday in the Southern District of New York Court. Kimberly, 56, claims that he sent a pitch for his book to Jennifer Loja, president of Penguin Young Readers, back in May of 2013. The book had quotes from female leaders, and at least 3 of the same quotes from the leaders, Helen Keller, Harriet Tubman and Nellie Bly, are now in Clinton's book. In his suit, Kimberly claimed that Loja presented the idea to Clinton, and she later used it for her book. UK Daily Mail reported that Kimberly had also issued a cease and desist order to Penguin in April, before the publishing day May 30. The suit points out that She Persisted chronicles 13 American women who changed the world and says it's an unauthorized reproduction of Kimberly's work. The appearance of impropriety is striking, it adds. In an interview with the Post, Kimberly said, "I do months of painstaking research on my book. Her version looks like a 9th grade homework assignment. I am in disbelief. The whole concept of the book is based on the flimsy premise of a turn of phrase from Mitch McConnell, a phrase which Democrats hide behind. And it's not surprising that the book isn't original. To publish a book in 3 months is nearly impossible." Kimberly wants $150,000 in damages, and that would be a problem for Chelsea since we know that the Clinton Foundation has enough money for everything. Please share this post on Facebook if support Kimberly in this lawsuit. What is your opinion on this? Scroll down to comment. Obama was caught meeting with the Russian lawyer who was actually a spy. Look who she worked for. The left went crazy over the recent story about Trump Jr. meeting with the Russian lawyer who claimed to have dirt on Hillary Clinton. And now, a shocking new discovery has emerged. Barack Obama and his administration secretly met with Natalia Veselnitskaya, the Russian lawyer who is really a spy, but it's who she worked for that actually makes Barack look guilty. Everything is coming out now, how Obama and his administration colluded with Hillary Clinton and the Democratic National Committee, DNC, to set up the fake Russian narrative against Donald Trump. It turns out that Natalia Veselnitskaya, the Russian lawyer, in fact, is a spy who was working for the Democrats, and there is more. Natalia was Obama's personal guest at the House of Representatives hearing on U.S. policy toward Putin's Russia. Miss Natalia Veselnitskaya is captured seated in the front row right behind former U.S. Ambassador to Russia Mr. Michael McFaul at the House Foreign Affairs Committee. This is June 14, 2016. This picture is taken only 5 days after her meeting at Trump Tower with Donald Trump Jr. It should be pointed out that Ambassador McFaul publicly discussed the Mu Russia conspiracy story in the media and was broadcasted on several NBC and MSNBC shows during the 2016 campaign, and after the election. And it should also be pointed out that Ms. Natalia Veselnitskaya was initially denied an entry visa into the United States in 2016 and she appealed her situation to the U.S. District Court of New York. She later received a parole letter, allowing her to enter the United States on behalf of a client. It seems that Obama and Hillary actually wanted Natalia to enter the country. In her affidavit to enter the U.S., Natalia Veselnitskaya acknowledges that she is working for a company called Fusion GPS, a firm which, according to public reports, was retained by Democratic operatives to develop opposition research on the president and which commissioned the phony Steele dossier. Please share this post on Facebook if you think Obama and Hillary should go to prison. What is your opinion on this? Scroll down to comment.